Tom, one of the reasons I love investing in oil production, I don't invest in oil companies like Exxon or Chevron. I actually invest in oil fields. And one of the reasons I love oil is because of the tax breaks, right? So if I put $100,000 into an oil investment, what happens next?
What happens is you get such a big deduction the first year that it's like the government handing you a check for about $30,000.
So if I put $100,000 in, I get $30,000 back right there.
Immediately.
So that's like a 30% return day one. So that's really what most people do not understand, that the tax laws are really incentives for professional investors. Right?
That's exactly right. And this is true in most countries. While the tax laws vary, like oil and gas, in the U.S., anybody who invests in U.S. oil and gas, no matter where you live, gets that same tax benefit.
So let's say I put $100,000 in, and it's very easy to get a 10% cash return. So the $100,000 I put in, and every year I get $10,000 coming back in. What kind of tax do I pay on that $10,000 in cash flow?
Oh, that's the next great thing from a tax standpoint in the U.S. You only pay tax on about 80% of that income.
So we get a tax break because we're doing what the government wants us to do, which is to provide energy and fuel. And you know, oil doesn't just go to gasoline, it goes to fertilizer, plastics, and a whole bunch of building materials. So a civilized country runs on energy. Without energy, civilization would crash. And that's why the government gives us
tax incentives.
There are two tax benefits that a taxpayer can take advantage of in any oil and gas investment. The first are the intangible drilling cost, which we commonly refer to as IDCs, and the second is percentage depletion. With the IDCs, the tax benefit is that the taxpayer is allowed, under certain circumstances, to write off these costs 100% when these are expended, and these are generally at the beginning of the investment period. So an investor could very well invest $100,000 in an oil and gas project and write off a very significant piece of that in the first year of the investment, resulting in a great tax benefit. The second benefit, which is percentage depletion, is one that is available after the well goes into production. And it's a benefit based on a calculation of revenue from the well, and it's 15% of that calculation. And so it's a deduction right off the top of 15%, which there's no support required for that. So it's sort of like depreciation on most businesses, except it's a deduction without needing the supporting documentation.